Alright, so I got Hockey Central on where they're talking about the Oilers, of course. The Oilers went over Washington, and oh, you get that wrong. I think a lot of people would have got that one wrong. See, and it's not a matter of, oh, you're not taking the Oilers seriously, because anybody who's watched recent videos of mine knows that I am very much a believer that the Oilers have taken a step here, and how far up they go is really up to them. I know when Pittsburgh turned it around, it was a dramatic turnaround. And I remember when the Quebec Nordiques turned things around, it was a dramatic turnaround too. Let me just find that quickly here. Out of playoffs. Yeah, see, in 05-06, the Penguins had 58 points. They were 15th in the East. They had 316 goals against. 06-07, 105 points, 5th in the East, second in their division. So that's a 47-point jump. And that's from 58 points. And that was the rookie season for Crosby was the first year. And I remember going to the second year. A lot of magazines were like, well, Penguins are going to start getting better. Last year, the Oilers had 70 points. So there's loser points in there, certainly. They had 8 of them. But they weren't as bad as Pittsburgh was right before they turned the corner. So can the Oilers keep it up? Yeah, they can. Keeping in mind, again, looking at Pittsburgh as comparable. Pittsburgh didn't win anything that year. But it's there. So this is my book that I got yesterday. It was delivered to Yvonne's. I love it very much. And this is my little can cozy that I will use when I drink pop now on the channel. So you guys are going to have to be master sleuths to figure out what I'm drinking. Yeah, it's Diet Cherry Coke today, just for example. Straight from the U.S. So, I mean, I have to get stuff from the U.S. before Trump wins and closes the borders. So I better get my Nexus card to allow me into the States really, really quick here, because 2 weeks from now, everything's shut down. Trump's throwing everybody out. And then he's going to see what Kim Jong-un's done. We have to have a certain kind of hair, and all Americans are going to have orange, wavy hair to go with their face being orange. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be tremendous. It'll be the biggest hair, the best hair. All right. All joking aside, this is tonight's games, but I'm all set to start today with the Anaheim Ducks. And it's not an easy task starting with the Anaheim Ducks, because I don't like them. But I've found some things just in a little bit of research I've done already that I've said, okay, that's cool, and all right. I can talk about the Ducks for a little while without getting mad or seeming unbiased, or seeming biased. I do my best not to be. I also broke my own rule yesterday, and I looked at Steve Dangle's channel, and I looked at his view counts and subscriber count, and honestly, there's a lot of there are comparables. I think if you look back at his view counts at the start to where they are now, in terms of they've gone up, and I'm sure that a lot of the view counts on his first season are people who've subscribed to him over the last couple of years. And I'm building up a library when it comes to my videos. I'm building up something different, and it's important. Like, I didn't watch any of his videos, so if anybody says, "Oh, you watched his videos?" No, I looked at his channel. I looked at how it's structured. I looked at what he may be doing that draws people in. He's got a lot of goofy faces he takes screenshots of to use as the thumbnails. I'm not going to start doing that. It's not going to happen. There's no way. Maybe after a Bruins loss, I could see myself taking my scarf and hanging myself with it in a picture. But, really, I have this hat that shows that they have 6 Stanley Cup wins, which means that the other 90 years, almost, they lost. So, the 6 and 85, 6 and 86. That's not a great record. So, anyways, tonight's games. Let's get on to tonight's games, shall we? So tonight, Arizona. Oh God, Arizona's lost 5 all in regulation in a row. They're in Philly. Oh, I took Zona last night. I didn't I? Didn't I take? Did I take? No, I took Jersey. I think it doesn't matter. This is potentially an epic losing streak. I'll take Philly 4-2. Philly came back with that gutsy win against Buffalo, so I'll take Philly 4-2 over Arizona. Minnesota coming off of a bye against the Bruins, or in Buffalo. This is Buffalo's home opener, I believe. A 1-2-2 record in the 5-game road trip. Could have been a lot worse, honestly. The one victory was over the Oilers. If the Oilers had showed up for that game, A, the Oilers would be 7-0, and B, Buffalo would be coming home 0-3-2. But they got that win over the Oilers. Now they're at home against Minnesota. Coming off of the bye against the Bruins, I'll say that Buffalo catches them off guard and wins the game 3-2. I'll say it's overtime, though. The Islanders are in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won their last game. The Islanders lost their last game. Pittsburgh's been looking more like the team that won the Stanley Cup, and I'll take them to beat the Islanders tonight 4-2. Toronto, I'm not making this mistake again, boys and girls. Florida's coming in with Luongo. Toronto is coming back with Anderson. And I've looked at the stats. And when I go through, today when I post the history of the Ducks, you're going to see why I can't understand what's going on with Anderson, and I refuse to blame it all on him. There's going to be a lot of Leafs fans saying, oh, it's our damn goalie. You know what? It was Reimer. It was Bernier. Before that, it was everybody else. There's been so many goalies that have gone through Toronto. It's the defense. So, anyways, I'll get into that later when I talk about the Ducks. Toronto is at home to Florida. I'm not betting against a team with Luongo and Reimer. I think Reimer makes sense would start this game. I haven't looked at the game page to see, but I mean, if Reimer starts the game, I could see this being a 4-1 victory for Florida. Tampa is 5-1, and they're in Montreal, who's 6-0-1. Montreal's undefeated. Tampa looked sensational against Toronto. Shea Weber is playing the best hockey of his career. And over the summer, I said Shea Weber's going to fit in really well in Montreal. He's what Montreal wanted. And Subban is Subban. And, he makes mistakes, and Montreal wanted to cut those out. And people were very, the analytics crowd came out like, oh, no, Subban's a much better defenseman. I saw some highlights from that Anaheim game last night. I watched some of the Anaheim game last night. I've watched Nashville. I'm sorry. Losing Weber has, for the short term anyways, wrecked Nashville's defense. Absolutely wrecked it. And I watched Dallas skate through them. I watched Anaheim skate through them. And skate through them in a way that if you had Shea Weber out there, they're not skating through them. Subban's a completely different defenseman. I'm not putting this all on PK. But what Nashville did was they changed the chemistry of their team. And so far, they're 2-4. They're not doing very well. Pekka Rinne also wasn't very good last night. So Mazanich goes in. Mazanich is an okay backup, but I'm telling you, if Rinne falters, people who've watched my NHL streams will get the falter comment. If Rinne falters, then you've really got a problem in Nashville, and it could snowball fast. So even though I picked Nashville at the start of the year, like, with Subban, and they look great, and Rinne's better than he gets credit, this guy was very wrong early on. Early on, Nashville doesn't even look like a playoff team. And they have to turn it around quickly, because that division is merciless. All right. So with Tampa in Montreal now, I'll take Tampa for the win on the road. 3-2 in overtime. I'll say Bishop and Price are lights out. Wouldn't even matter if Montoya's in. Montoya's been pretty good too. Dallas is in Winnipeg. Now, Dallas and Winnipeg have a rivalry going early on. I'll say Winnipeg takes the win because they're at home. I'll say it'll be 3-0. Hellebuck with a shutout, and Dallas will be in disarray after tonight for a little while. Detroit, coming off of 5 wins in a row for the team that everybody left for dead at the start of the year. Detroit is in St. Louis. St. Louis is a team that have been sort of inconsistent. There's an uncertainty in the entire lineup. And if Detroit can come in and capitalize on that, I'm going to take Detroit to win this and make it 6 in a row, winning 4-1. Columbus, coming off of a loss, is in San Jose. San Jose's 4-3. San Jose's going to be 5-3. I'll say San Jose wins this one 4-2. Nashville. Oh boy. So Nashville now, who are on the cusp of a disastrous season, are in LA. LA with Budai, and still considering their options in net. I'll say Nashville turns the tide tonight, just for tonight. I'll say 4-3 over the Kings, because the Kings are on a 3-game winning streak, and I can't see that continuing. I can't. And I can't see Nashville falling too far below 500. But much like Boston, who are in and around the 500 mark, I'm not praising them. It's going to be a long season in Nashville. But potentially anyways. But I'll take Nashville to win this game 4-3 in overtime. Say overtime. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rough season. I am working on the pool stuff today. So for guys who are wondering, I will tell you, yes, I'm working on the pool stuff today. I have the Ducks video to do this morning. I'm also going out today. I'm doing pumpkin carving with Yvonne and the kids. They're going to let me use a knife, so I expect to have Band-Aids all over my hands, potentially my face. I don't know. How did I stab myself in the face with that one? No, I'm not too bad with a knife. I actually worked as a cutter briefly at my job. I actually worked as a meat cutter briefly, so at least to the point where I'm decent with a set of knives. I'm not useless, and I'm pretty good at sharpening a knife now. So, I mean, that's handy. You want the kids to go to bed on time, and they're not listening. You just get the steel out, and you just start. Be a shame if you guys didn't go to bed. Be a real shame if you guys had to see what happens when this blade gets sharp enough. And kids will just go to bed. You don't have to threaten them. You don't have to say anything. Nothing that you say can be thrown in court. Oh, no, he didn't threaten to use the knife. He's just sharpening it. And if you sharpen it every night, the kids know it's a pretty sharp knife. I'm kidding. But anyways, no, I'm working on the pool thing. I've got about 4.5 hours till Yvonne comes over. And I've also got some other stuff to do around the apartment here. Because my cleanup, while it hasn't been stellar at all, having a girlfriend has meant that it's been non-existent for the most part. So I got to fix that. At least cover it with something. Blankets and fire and stuff like that. Anyways, good luck to everybody tonight. I hope your teams play great. And it's going to be another good night of hockey. I probably won't see any of it. I won't be streaming tonight or tomorrow night. My next stream watching hockey will be on Saturday. Saturday night will be the best night for me to get that done. But I'm going to continue going. And they just got the graphic up now. Hampus Lindholm signs. The Ducks won this battle. Lindholm gets $5.25 million. And as they said on Hockey Central, what this does is it really shows that Ekblad at $7.5 million, he's not there yet. And that's a risky deal, in that now other comparable defensemen are getting $2 million a year less, and in a cap world, that makes a big difference. So we'll see how that turns out for them. But the Ducks really desperately needed Lindholm back, and with Lindholm back, their goals against is going to go down, their goals for is going to go up, and watch the Ducks cruise right back up the standings. I expect the Ducks and the Sharks to both cruise right back up the standings. The Kings, I don't know. Quick's out for a while. Apparently Zatkov's out for a while, so I really don't know. I know Boston isn't making the playoffs. I know that is what's going to happen. And Dallas probably will, but again, they're so inconsistent that it's really hard to back them too much. But yeah, that's it for me for now on this topic. That Weber Subban deal right now, Montreal wins that going away, don't they? And that deal is just an absolute killer. And Mark Bergevin, if there was any worries about, is he going to get fired? No. But here's the other thing: Montreal fans have desperately wanted Michel Therrien to get fired. Therrien's not going anywhere. That's the problem. Therrien is not going anywhere with Montreal 6-0-1. So Montreal's stuck with Therrien at least through the rest of the season, as far as I can see, unless Montreal goes on a 7 or 8 game losing streak. I just wonder, does he give Carey Price gift baskets, gift cards of some sort, or does he just give him half his salary? Because if he does, then Shea Weber gets a cut too. So Therrien may be working for free. I keep saying Therrien because I have friends locally who have his last name and they pronounce it Therrien, and yet I see it on TV and it's Therrien for him as the coach. So that's why there's 2 different pronunciations that come out of my mouth, because guys I've hung out with pronounce it Therrien, and the coach pronounces it Therrien, just because the world hates me. So anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And what's been the biggest surprise so far of the year? I mean, the Oilers are obviously one of the biggest surprises of the year. I didn't expect them to be this good. I said they'd be better, and I took flack for that. I was told their defense is garbage. There's no way they're going to be better. Chiarelli's a terrible GM. And that was from multiple sources, and I never wavered. Never. You can look all the way back to when the Hall versus Larson trade happened, and I didn't shit all over it then. I was confused. I thought it was a risky deal, but I understood that Hall was the one that had to go. So, I was fine with that. I had pegged Eberle as the one that was going to get traded out, but so far, so damn good for Edmonton. So, anyways, hope Alberta's enjoying hockey this week. I have a feeling that both fan bases are. And, we'll see what happens tonight. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Thanks for watching.